Hello friends, welcome to my channel ELS English Literature Studies with Kaur Harpreet. Today we'll discuss forms of English drama part 2. In part 1 I have discussed about miracle plays and mystery plays. So let us start with today's video. Before starting, let us discuss whatever is discussed in my previous video. There are 4 forms of drama, right? The miracle plays, the mystery plays, the morality plays, and the interludes. And those who are new on my channel, let me tell you that I have started a series on what is a drama. I have already made a series on what is poetry, and questions are related to this are already discussed. You can check those videos also. And so let us continue. In my previous video I have discussed miracle plays which are based on the life or whole history of saints. And when we talk about mystery plays, these plays are a series of dramatic reenactments of episodes from the Bible. Right now today main topic is morality plays and interludes. Let us start with morality plays. These plays morality plays are we can say an allegorical drama popular in Europe, especially during the 15th and 16th century. And in these plays the characters personify moral qualities such as charity and abstractions such as death or youth, right? And in these plays moral lessons are taught. These were popular in 15th and 16th century in Europe, and these plays used allegorical stories to teach a moral message, right? And the characters were personified abstract qualities of goodness and evil, virtue and vices are used, which are engaged in a battle to win the soul of the mankind figure. This is their main purpose, right? And essential main purpose or essential theme we can say is a conflict between the forces of good and the forces of evil. And why this is what is the reason for this conflict? That is the possession of man's soul. It is a type of drama again that developed in Middle Ages. But now the question arises, what is the difference between other plays and morality plays, right? These morality plays are also didactic in nature, like mystery plays, and their purpose is to improve the conduct of human beings in society. But its characters, instead taking from Bible and from the legends of the saints, these characters were personified abstractions, right? And essential theme is the conflict between the virtues and vices. Why is the conflict? Because of the possession of man's soul. And what is there is one more question arises, that what is the major distinction between cycle plays and morality plays? The difference is that the cycle plays presents the history of salvation, whereas morality plays shows the way to salvation. This is the main difference between cycle plays and morality plays, right? And these are 3 morality plays. These 3 plays present the lifelong struggle between the vices and virtues for the possession of soul of man, and therefore these 3 plays are called as full scope morality plays. And 3 of these differ in the traditional devices, or we can say in the motives by means of which the struggle is represented, right? When we talk about first morality play, the Castle of Perseverance, it presents a battle between good angel and the virtues and bad angels, or we can say vices. They're under the leadership of the sources of temptation. What are the temptations? The world, the flesh, and the devil. All these are the temptations, right? Then in second and third, these work also portrays the same theme, right? The forces of evil are servants of the world, and this time we can say these are presented in a new motif. The saints under the leadership of sensuality and the virtues under reason, right? Next topic is interludes. Interludes became popular in the last part of 15th century, that is 1497 to 1580. The interlude, we can say the interlude was a late product of dramatic development of morality play, right? And these are also called as secular morality plays. These interludes signify the transition from symbolism to realism, and the allegorical characters which were used in morality plays, they disappeared in the interludes, because it was a transition from symbolism to realism, right? These interludes appeared towards the end of 15th century, but they could not, we can say, they were not able to completely replace the morality plays, right, which remained popular till the 16th century. And what is the purpose of these interludes? They aimed at amusement and entertainment, right? Or we can say these interludes were used by authors and dramatists as a literary device. They were meant to provide comic relief to the audience from an overpowering tragedy or gloomy mood which is created by highly tragic scenes, right? This is the main reason of interlude, to introduce interlude. It is a short dramatic piece, especially of a light or farcical character. It is formally introduced between the parts, or we can say acts of miracle and morality plays to give entertainment as a part of entertainment, right? And these interludes may be totally in contrast to the tragic mood, but in the same or the other way, we can say they are still connected to the main theme of the play. And what is the second purpose or the main purpose? The interlude has many purposes, as I've already told that its purpose was to provide comic relief to the audience, but among the most common purpose, we can say the main purpose was to advance the story, right? So friends, this is all about morality plays and interludes, and this is a list in which I have mentioned some important miracle plays, mystery plays, morality plays, and interludes. Miracle plays are play of Saint Catherine, cycle of York plays, cycle of Townley plays, cycle of Chester plays, and the second Shepherd's play. Mystery plays are Christ's Nativity, Resurrection, Last Judgment, Noah, and Abraham and Isaac. Morality plays are the Castle of Perseverance, Everyman, Marriage of Wit and Science, the Pater Noster, and Origin of the Vices, right? And when we talk about Everyman, we can say this is the most popular morality play. It appeared at the end of 15th century, and it enjoyed a vast popularity till the end of 16th century. And another is the Castle of Perseverance. It is an allegory identical with the second book of the Fairy Queen. It depicts mankind's progress from birth to death, right? Then we have interludes like God's Promises, The Partner and the Friar and the Four Ps, the interlude of youth, the disobedient child. So friends, this is all about my today's content. I hope you like it, and if you like it, please hit the like button, share and subscribe my channel, and if you are new to my channel, please hit the bell button so that you can get notifications for my upcoming videos. Thanks a lot for watching.